Hi guys, thanks for joining me. So I have another book that I have finished. Yay, I'm getting through them. This is a Celia. No, it's not. It's a Cecelia Ahern. The Year I Met You, it's called. It says it's life affirming, warm and wise. That's a good housekeeping. Um, I've read, I think I've read all of her books. She's a really good Irish author. And apparently she's an international bestseller. Of course she is. She wrote it was actually her debut novel, P.S. I Love You, which was adapted into a film with Hilary Swank and the, what's his name? The Scottish guy. Oh, it's going to annoy me. Can anybody remember the Scottish guy that was in the film? Now, P.S. I Love You, actually, I was reading it on the bus one day and I was in tears reading it. However, I was not a massive fan of the film, Gerard Butler. In the film, so you got Hilary I can't even speak. Hilary Swank, who's recently widowed. In the book, you feel her pain, but in the film, Gerard Butler keeps popping up with his annoying fake Irish accent, which is terrible. So his character is quite annoying. For me, anyway, I found him quite annoying. So it spoiled the film for me. However, the book is amazing, and that was her debut, which is absolutely amazing to write something like that. She has done loads of other books that sell in 46 countries. What other books? Samantha Who. Oh, that was a TV series, including the ABC comedy Samantha Who. Um, my American friends might know who that is. I've never seen that. Her second novel, Where Rainbows End, is released as a film. Love Rosie, starring Lily Collins and Sam Claflin. And she still lives in Dublin with her family. So she's doing really, really well. This book came out a number of years ago because I think it was sitting in my sister's attic. And yeah, I think it must be an old one or an older one, but I can't see how long ago it came out. But anyway, this was in my sister's attic, so yeah, it talks about coming soon, autumn 2015, so you're talking 4 years ago. Anyway, I'm prattling on here. I'm going to read the back and then I'll read some of the plaudits that it's had. So at the back it says, the year that changed my life. So for Jasmine, losing her job felt like losing everything. The year I found home. With a life built around her career and her beloved sister Heather, suddenly her world becomes the house and garden she has hardly seen and the neighbours she has yet to meet. The year I met you, but being fired is just the beginning. In that year that unfolds, Jasmine learns more about herself than she could ever imagine, and more about other people than she ever dreamed. Sometimes friendship is found in the most unexpected places. So the Irish independency, officially one of our best heartwarming take on the things we learn from others, if you put aside our preconceptions. The Daily Mail say a wry dark drama. It's not dark. And Heat say it's moving, real, and exquisitely crafted. Do not miss it. Inside, the Sunday Express say she cleverly and thoughtfully turns the tables, providing thought-provoking life lessons. Completely hooked. Closer says it's inspiring, a novel about friendship and support, and never judge a book by its cover. So I'm not going to read any more of that. I actually found this book a wee bit boring. I've recently, so I'm aware that I keep using these words and I'm trying to stop myself, and every time I hear them, it annoys me. I have recently started reading kind of more thrillers, so the chick lit that I used to love no longer kind of has that appeal to me anymore. It's a nice story. So when she's 5, her cousin tells her at her granddad's funeral that she's going to die. Um, what he means is that she will die someday, but she takes it quite literally and lives her life as if she's going to die. She's got nothing wrong with her. And hopefully the character lives a full and kind of happy life. So she starts things and projects and companies throughout her life, and that's where she kind of makes her money. So she gets involved in startup companies, makes them lots of money and sells them. And she finds herself, they say sacked, but she's on gardening leave for a year. because she sets up this company with her friend Larry, and Larry knows what she's like, and he's put a clause in that if she tries to sell the business, you know, he can sack her basically and put her on gardening leave to stop her using their idea. And that's exactly what happens. She then does actually ironically discover her garden, turns it from a trendy kind of modern tarmac into a proper garden. And over that time, she also has a neighbour who's an Irish DJ, and it's apparent that he's an alcoholic. He comes home, you know, he pulls a stunt on his radio show and ends up sacked. So he comes home every night, you know, from the station before he gets sacked, kind of music playing, hammering on the door, and then his kids and wife kind of up and leave him. So the two of them strike up a friendship, which is quite nice actually. And he realises he's an alcoholic and gets herself some help. Meanwhile, she's just desperate to get back to work. There's also the story within that her mother died when she was very young, and she has a sister called Heather. They're both named after winter plants, or is it winter flowers, winter flowering plants or whatever, Jasmine and Heather. Heather is a young woman with Down syndrome, and she kind of struggles because she thinks that her sister, you know, is so dependent on her and really needs her, and you know, it's kind of her and the world. And the DJ had actually made a comment on his radio show earlier. She's got a kind of talk radio show where he was letting people, you know, have these quite ignorant conversations about, you know, having, what would they do if they had a child that had a disability, or, you know, was born with Down syndrome. And so she hates him, and then she actually discovers throughout the book that he's not quite the character that she believes him to be, and they strike up a friendship, which is nice. She then meets a man, falls in love, and everything kind of falls into place. So yeah, so sorry. So it's not particularly taxing. It's a nice wee book to read. It's a bit kind of fluffy. You know, I enjoyed it, but I wouldn't. But you know, I'd probably forget that I've read it in a couple of months' time. Yeah. So if you like chick lit and you just want something to read that's a nice warm story, then I will suggest this book to you. But if you're looking for something kind of with a bit more meat on its bones, this isn't one of her books that does that. If you haven't read P.S. I Love You, I would go back and read that. Some of the other books, are they on the front here? If You Could See Me Now, The Gift. Yeah, those are really good books. But P.S. I Love You, if you haven't seen that book, if you haven't read that book or listened to that book, or I wouldn't recommend film just because I really don't like Gerard Butler. But read the book first. Yeah, P.S. I Love You is much better than this book, and it's one of the few books of hers that I haven't actually enjoyed. I think I've probably have read it before, but yeah, it hasn't stuck with me. It's just a nice piece of light chick lit, basically, that's all it is. So anyway, you know, it's a kind of everything falls apart, girl meets boy, and everything ends up kind of really happy and in a good place. All the loose ends tied up. I'm currently reading a thriller, so I went to Glasgow. I'm sorry, every time I hear myself say so, I want to smack myself. I went to Glasgow, well, it wasn't Glasgow, it was Dalmuir, which is a wee bit further away, and I had taken this book and I finished it, and I thought, oh, what am I going to read on the way back? So I nipped into the hospital at the Golden Jubilee. There's a gift shop, and they were selling books really cheap. So I picked up a wee thriller, and I'm absolutely loving it. So that's coming next. It certainly isn't light and fluffy. It's about a man who's it's about a murdered family. So yeah, from one extreme to the other, but it's quite gripping actually. So thank you very much for watching, and yep, I'm getting close. I'm not sure actually, I can't remember. I think this might be book number 16. Yeah, so nearly done. And thanks for watching. Speak to you soon, guys. Bye.